Welcome to an Ephemera Queen chipboard purse tutorial. I'm Charee Filimoehala here at the Graphic 45 office, and today I'm excited to teach you how to create this gorgeous purse using our chipboard kit and some of our Ephemera Queen papers. This purse is, as well as the coordinating double accordion mini this month, have been created for us for our Club G45. This is volume 11. And both of these projects have been created by the wonderful and talented Annette Green. Annette has really gone above and beyond this month with these pieces, just really showing us the best way to utilize Graphic 45 embellishments, and even created this super fun pre-cut chipboard kit. So this month in your Club G45 kit, you're going to be getting the Ephemera Queen 12x12 collection pack. It comes complete with 2 each of the 8 double-sided 12x12 papers. You're going to be getting the stickers that go along in that collection pack, a Graphic 45 bag to store all your goodies, and then you'll also be getting the Ephemera Queen chipboard, Ephemera Queen die-cut assortment with all these fun pre-cut pieces, which really makes decorating and embellishing just a cinch and so much fun to do. And then to go along to give us this nice little hardware, we're also going to be giving you these Graphic 45 ornate metal keys. And then of course, like every month, the printable or the full colored project sheet. The reason why I say it's printable is because even if you're not a Club G45 member, you can print that out over on our website. Just go to g45papers.com, and there is, under the inspiration tab, just scroll to the bottom, and on the project sheets tab, there's over 30 printable project sheets there. So you can follow along. The project sheet makes it simple for you to pick up the supplies that we're using, but because there's measurements listed in all of those project sheets, you can always use the papers and chipboard that you've already got at home and just recreate it with your own scrapbook stash. So hop on over to our website, g45papers.com, pick up the kit or subscribe to the club, and then meet us back over here at this video so we can start creating this super fun and fabulous chipboard purse, because everyone knows you can never have too many purses. So let's get started. If you want to be inking along with this project, we would recommend using a brown ink such as our Graphic 45 dark cashmere, but anything that coordinates with this collection is going to look great. I won't be inking in my project, but just so you can see Annette's gorgeous sample, hers is nice and inked up and it looks beautiful. Step 1, we've taken the B side of Treat Yourself, and we're just going to trace our 2 largest pieces from our chipboard kit. So these are our purse base pieces, and you can do this with a pen or a pencil. We are going to be using the opposite side of this, so we'll be using this pink side. So using a pen is just fine, since that's not going to be our visible side. And when you are tracing, if you go ahead and put your pen or pencil at an angle to try to get as close to the edge as possible, that is ideal, and trace both those pieces. Step 2, we're taking a piece of Simply the Best, and we've cut this to be 12 inches by 3/4, and then we are just going to have this be flush with the top of our purse bases. I know this is the top because the top's more narrow and the bottom is wider. So we will go ahead and trace that first one on there. And then once we have that first one traced, we can take our second piece and trace this here. You can see if I do try to trace them at the same time, because their bases get wider, it does get a little bit harder, but you could always separate it out. But this way we will have a bit of an extra scrap that you might want to keep for the future. Now, taking our fine tip scissors, we're going to go ahead and just cut out what we've just traced. And we're going to cut inside of our lines. Do that with both of our top of our bag pieces, and now we'll do the same with our base. Now that I have these cut and traced, I'm just going to put them over to the side. To move on into step 4, we're going to cut a piece of Simply the Best to be 5.5 by 6.5. And then we're going to place our handles strategically so we can get the most out of our paper when tracing. So once you can fit both of those pieces on, you can go ahead and trace just using the same method. Of course, trying to get your pencil or pen angled as closely to our chipboard as possible. Especially when you're doing these more intricate cuts, trying to get your pen or pencil as close as possible. It's definitely going to help when you're trimming it all out, making sure it's going to fit nice and neatly. And then with Simply the Best, we're going to trace our 4 corner pieces. And then after you've traced your 4 corners, let's go ahead and cut those out. Step 7, we're going to be cutting out what we've traced. So my tip on that is making sure that you're cutting inside of your lines and then taking it nice and slow. I know when I'm doing rounded edges, if I take it slow, then I can get a nice curve. And of course, if it's not perfect, we can always go in and ink some edges or do some sanding. It's a rainy day here in Portland. I don't know if you can hear that rain, but it is really coming down. Which makes it a perfect day to be crafting with some beautiful papers. Keeping some warm vibes inside. So after you're finished cutting out these 2 handles, then with Simply the Best, you're going to trace on the floral side again 2 more handle pieces. This time we won't be tracing out the little circular balls on the bottom of the handles. So just trace and cut to this point here. Step 8. From Simply the Best, we're going to cut a piece that's going to be 5 3/4 by 2 inches. And that has a coordinating chipboard piece in our pack. And then also in our pack, we've got these little side pieces, and these are slightly angled, and so they're a little bit wider on the bottom and more narrow. Onto 2 more Simply the Best pieces. And then you will cut those out. So step 9, we're going to start to adhere all of our pieces down on our coordinating chipboard. So we do want to keep in mind, there is a nice handy photo here, that's how our purse is going to look once it's all done up. So when you're adhering your pieces, just kind of put your puzzle together just like it is shown on the project sheet. So my wider bases are going to be towards the center of both my purse and my sides. This piece is just a nice simple rectangle. So this way we'll ensure that we're adhering the pieces onto the right sides and we're not doing anything that we shouldn't. If you do want to add some magnetic discs or Velcro, we can add the Velcro later. That's what there is on this purse. But if you want to do magnets, that would be now would be the time to do that. So you just want to pick a side and put a magnet down from the center about 1 3/4 inch from the top center on that side. And then if you just would want to write on that side that this is going to be your front. So if that was my case, I would put front here. Let's go ahead and make this one magnetic. Okay, so I've got my placement for my magnet. And of course, you don't need to add a magnet or a Velcro, but I just want to show you, if you are, how to do that. So I've got a negative side of a magnet. And my spot that I've marked out. Perfect. So now when I adhere everything down, that will already be set up. So I'll just have to add the plus side of my magnet to my strap when we get to that point. So now we're just going to adhere everything down. So just using, for this part, you can use any adhesive you'd like. There is a few steps that'll be nice to use something that has a little bit of wiggle room when we're working on the inside of our purse. But for now, you could use whatever you prefer, whichever is your favorite of the adhesives. And then just making sure that when I adhere down over my magnet, that I'm not moving my magnet around. I'm using some art glitter glue. I really like the consistency of this glue, and I like how it doesn't stick to your fingers as much as some of the other liquid. And then let's add on our little topper accents. These just go on the top of our front purse pieces. Just flush with the top. Step 10. We're going to take If the Shoe Fits, and we've cut this to be 6 5/8 by 3 inches. And then in your scoreboard, we're just going to score at a 1/2 inch on all 4 sides. So just keep rotating and scoring at a 1/2 inch. And then go ahead and fold on all your score marks. And once we've got that, we're just going to cut away those 4 corners. Step 11, we are going to adhere this on the back side of our chipboard base of our purse. So this is going to be the bottom of what you can see on the outside of our purse, and then this will be the inside of our purse. So we'll just adhere this on our exposed craft area. And having your tabs all folded up does help to make sure that you are getting a nice placement. Step 12, from If the Shoe Fits, we're going to cut out 2 of those large purse pieces. Don't adhere these down yet, but just trace and cut those out. This will be for the inside of our purse. And then from that same paper, If the Shoe Fits, we'll cut out 4 1 inch by 3 15/16 pieces. And these are going to be our support strips on the inside of our purse, kind of helping us put it all together. Step 13, we're going to start to assemble our purse. So I'm going to go ahead and put a line of adhesive on my chipboard edge. And then I'm going to take one of my large purse fronts, and this is just going to adhere flush with the table and both the right and left hand sides. I'm just getting a nice good connection. Once I have a good connection there, we can go ahead and adhere down this little 1/2 inch ridge as well onto, oops. Let's just go ahead and adhere it all together at the same time. I think that will be easier. Okay, so I've got my adhesive down. I'm taking my purse front and just making sure that my edges are matching both the right and left hand panels, and it'll be nice and flush with the bottom of the table. Step 14, we're going to be taking one of our side pieces. Remember, it's more narrow at the top and wider at the bottom. And we're going to adhere this onto our front piece and the bottom. So I'll be putting adhesive down on this edge. And the bottom edge, which is the wider of the two. And this is just going to be flush with our purse. So our structures, or our pink base, will be on the inside of our purse, and this piece will go on the outside, but it'll be flush with the side of our purse and bottom. Once you get the placement you like, you can just go ahead and hold it in place while it dries for a minute. We don't have to wait too long because we did create those structure strips that we're going to start to use to add some extra strength and bonding with our chipboard purse. And now we can take our adhesive and adhere our 1/2 inch flap down to the inside of the side wall. And now we're going to use this support strip. So adding adhesive onto the busy pattern side, leaving the nice pink two-tone. That's going to be our facing side up. And then we'll just inch it into that corner. So this is a great time to be using that liquid adhesive or a glue stick, something that is more movable, not so permanent like those score tapes. So at this point you should be looking like this, and it should starting to be pretty secure. So now we're going to take our other side piece and repeat those same steps. All right, so move this to the side for a second, and then taking our two papers that are going to go on the inside, we are going to mark 1 inch down from the top on both sides. I'll just erase that. And then we'll just trim off 1/8 of an inch. We did that on one side, now we'll do it on the other. And then again, about 1/8 of an inch from the bottom. And do the same with both pieces. And then check to see if the first one is going to fit in our purse. So you can see mine's still a little too wide on this side. So trim off some more until it fits. Perfect. Now it fits perfectly. But before you say it fits perfectly, make sure you look on the outside and see if it fits, because it looks like I was cutting more of a 1/16 of an inch, not 1/8 of an inch. So now I need to continue to cut another 1/16 till I get there. Doing things on camera where you're off to the side or it's not directly in front of you can make their perception of where you're cutting and placing things a little bit askew. So let's see, check it again. And now we are fitting on all of our sides. So now I can adhere this down. And now we're going to adhere our second chipboard piece. And this is our back. So I'm just going to put a little F on the front here. So if I look inside my box, I should be able to find that little F and know that my front magnet is here. But now we are going to adhere this on. So I'm just going to go ahead and add that adhesive right on to my flap. And my sides. Adhere this down so it's flush with the bottom and equal on both sides. And once you have the placement you like, you can just hold that in place for just a minute while it dries. Step 20, add your 2 remaining support strips to the inside. And then we're going to check to see if our other piece of if the shoe fits on the inside of our box. And if it does, we'll go ahead and adhere that inside. Step 21, we're going to cut out 2 pieces of if the shoe fits to be 1 7/8 of an inch by 3 15/16. And then these will adhere to our inside walls. And if you need to do just a little bit of trimming, remember our walls get a little more narrow towards the top, so. Perfect. And then adhere those inside. Step 23, we're going to adhere on our corners. Just the nice relaxing part. So our points go to the point of our corner. I don't know why you craft. Do you watch TV or do you listen to music? Normally when I craft at home, I watch TV, but I'm kind of feeling like maybe listening to some meditative, some calming music might be really nice. And so every other moment of the days can be jam-packed with busy things to do. And then we're going to adhere our handles down. And it doesn't really matter as long as that they're even, but mine are going to be about 2.5 inches down from the top. And centered. So I have checked and my front is here, and I have one handle that I like more than the other. My other handle I smudged a little bit of ink on, so I'm using my more perfect for me handle on the front of my purse. And then I'll flip that over and add my other handles. And once you find the placement you like, you can always flip this over too and make sure that your handles are matching and just adhere that down. Step 25, we're going to be making our little strap that keeps our purse closed. So of course, if you want to keep this as is and you want to maybe use this as like a little storage caddy for your craft room or something else, you might not want to have this strap. It might, or if depending on the present that you're giving, maybe that might be in the way. So if that were the case, you could always just cut a piece that's about 2 inches, like what we're going to be doing, and then just decorate the front to make it look like there's a strap on the front and back, but doesn't actually have this little loop. So it's up to you. We're going to be doing our strap, of course. We'll keep our mini album nice inside and it's super cute, and that's what our magnet goes onto. So the first thing we want to do is take Simply the Best. I believe this is most likely going to be your second sheet of Simply the Best at this point because we've used a lot of it. And we're going to cut this to be 2.5 inches by 6.5 inches. And then we're going to score on both the left and right hand side at 5/8 of an inch. And then I'll go ahead and fold on those score lines. So it should just be meeting nicely in the center. And this is going to be the inside of our little strap. So at this point, we're just going to go ahead and glue our folds down to the center. The glue will add some extra strength to our straps, so I would advise using a liquid glue at this time. Also, because it's going to help give us some bend and shape to our straps. So once you have it all glued down, then we can just kind of start to form this piece. So just kind of bending and curling with your thumb. It's a great way to do it. You can also take it in between your two thumbs and bend this way as well. So next you're going to take your corner rounder. If you want to go above and beyond, you can always leave this step out. I'm using the 1/4 of an inch of a corner rounder and just rounding my 4 handles corners. If you don't have a corner rounder, you can always trace something with round edges and cut those out as well. And now that this is dry, I'm going to take one of our keyholes. You can choose any one you want, but I'm going to take this oval cutie and I'm going to adhere it on with some nice metal friendly glue onto the front. So I'm using some glossy accents for this piece. And this is just going to go on the front of my little purse strap that we've created. So even if you're not participating with a Graphic 45 kit, the nice thing about adding this metal piece is that it will help keep our strap down. So if you're not doing Velcro or a magnet, I would advise to do something some kind of metal embellishment or something that'll kind of weigh it down to keep the strap down if you're going to do a strap without some kind of closure. So I just added some more glossy accents into my keyhole because I overdid it and so some was leaking through. So may as well make it look like a happy accident where I've got a nice shiny keyhole. So I'm going to set this to the side to dry for now. If you'd like, you can use some kind of clips to keep it down where you want it. You could use paper clips or other fun office doodads. Step 29, we're going to make a cute little tassel. And how we're going to do that is by taking 5 pieces, just some leftover pieces from the paper. We're going to be cutting these down to be 1/4 inch by 4 inches. And then on both the tops and bottoms of these, we're going to notch a V out of those. So do that on both top and bottom of all 5. Once you've notched all those, we're going to fold these in half, but have them a little bit askew. So I'm going to stack these up and add just a dot of adhesive while I do that. I want the tops to be nice and flush with each other while I'm creating my little stack. But have them fanned out just a bit to create some interest. And then I'm taking the 5th piece, so I've just done 4 of the stacks together, and I'm going to start to wrap this around my tassel. But also when I get started, I'm going to be doing a piece of twine. You could do, this is waxed twine, but cord, twine, elastic, whatever you've got in your stash. You could do this, and we just want 6 inches of that, and I'm going to put just on one end. That's going to just go at the top of my stack, and I'll start to wrap this around. So just while I'm wrapping it around, I'll just continue to add a little bit of adhesive to give it some nice strength. So now I'm taking the plus side of my magnet. If you're using a magnet, you can go ahead and do this. If not, if you're using the Velcro, you can add all your Velcro on later, or if you're just letting the gravity do the job of keeping your strap down, that works too. But now that I have my magnet in place, it's just placed on top of where my magnet is underneath. Now I can start to play around with my strap, and then I'll know exactly where to glue my strap on. And my purse. So you can see with this one, we do want to raise it a bit so there's room for your album or other things. And then it's going to go overlapping in the back just about 1 inch past our yellow strip. So once I know approximately where I want that to go, I can put that down, adhere that down, and then I'm just going to use these paper clips again to keep this in place while it dries. So while that's drying, now I know I want to add glue to my magnet. But I don't want to glue my strap down. Just wanting to add glue to my magnet that way. Now I'm just going to let it sit and dry to the side. I've skipped ahead and now I've come back, so you won't have all these pieces yet assembled and adhered yet, but for now you will be taking these cute little cake chipboard circles and adding those to your front of your purse. And then we'll be taking these little yellow rose stickers, and these will go right in the center of our chipboard circles. Just adding that really nice dimension. Step 34, we're going to take our tassel and this cute little chipboard piece. We've just popped out the tag, or the little hole for the tag, and we're going to thread our twine around there. And then this will go around our handle, or on the right hand side. And then just once you kind of figure out how you like this to lay, we'll adjust and then adhere it all down. So I like this placement. So now I'm just going to trim off my excess twine, and I can start to adhere my pieces down. So the first thing I'm going to adhere down is my little chipboard square tag on an angle. And I do want to make sure that I have both the square and the frame, so that way I don't lose the inside. And then I'm just going to adhere down. Add some adhesive onto my twine, or onto the back of my tassel. And there you have it. I'm going to let that dry. But our chipboard purse is now been completed, and this is looking super cute. I still have my paper clips just so it can dry appropriately. But we hope that you've enjoyed creating these fun purses, and we'd love to hear how you're going to use yours. Are you going to use yours to stuff in your accordion mini album, or are you going to use it as an office caddy or a gift box? Let us know in the comments below, and then also be sure to share your projects with us on social media using that graphic 45 hashtag. And thank you as always for watching this tutorial. If you're looking for more tutorials like this one, subscribe to our YouTube channel and then hit that notification bell so you get to see all sorts of fun things that we are creating and create along with us. We hope that you are staying safe and having a great time crafting. So as always, happy paper crafting.